we have been very clear that a red line for us is we start seeing a whole bunch of chemical weapons moving around or being utilized.
More than 4 years later, that red line has been crossed again and again. But there's been little in the way of action to back up President Obama's warning, despite activists documenting the often deadly use of chemical weapons across Syria. Shocking terror, even in a country almost numb to cruelty. A country that's been ensnared in civil war for nearly 6 years. ISIS festering there for much of it, preying on the country's complex and toxic mess. But America's next president, Donald Trump, saw it in more simple terms on the campaign trail.
ISIS is honoring President Obama. He is the founder of ISIS. He's the founder of ISIS.
That's not true, of course, but Syria's president, Bashar al-Assad, has been at the center of it all, with Moscow throwing a huge amount of firepower onto Syria's battlefields to help him stay in control, something Washington has been pushing against.
It is unimaginable that you can stop the civil war there when the overwhelming majority of people in Syria consider him to be a brutal, murderous dictator. He cannot regain legitimacy.
The US has given weapons and other support to rebels who want Assad gone as well. That may be about to change.
We're backing rebels. We have no idea who they are, but I would certainly like to see what's going on. I'd like to find out who these people are that we want to give billions of dollars to. We have no idea. And sure, Assad is a bad guy, but you can have worse, and maybe these people are worse.
Some analysts think we should put all that to the side.
We should not take what he said during the presidential campaign very seriously, because it's incoherent, it's contradictory, it's counterproductive, and if he does translate what he said during the presidential campaign, this would be catastrophic.
But the Kremlin doesn't seem to think so. It describes Trump and Putin's views on Syria as, quote, phenomenally close. Meanwhile, millions of refugees have been forced from their homes, many pouring towards Europe. For them, Trump has some familiar rhetoric.
We want to build safe zones. We'll do it in Syria. We'll get the Gulf states to put up the money. They'll do it.
There have long been calls for places like right here, the United Arab Emirates and other Arab states, to do more to help the refugees. So far, they've mostly gone unanswered. They'd rather keep this at bay, this messy, uncontainable web of a patchwork of fighters, jihadi forces and others, all armed to the teeth, fighting in Syria. What President-elect Trump can or will do to untangle it remains to be seen. Becky Anderson, CNN, Abu Dhabi.